This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. The race is on for Tasmania's 2018 election, with the Premier today announcing voters will go to the polls on March 3. The Liberal team is outlining a strong economy as delivering better outcomes, as the Labor Party position health as its major priority. Our reporter Jacqueline Robson joins us now live from Government House. Good evening, Jacqueline. What does today mean for Tasmanians?
Well, Rachel, it means 5 long weeks of heavy campaigning as political parties try to convince voters why they deserve their support. Now, the Premier was here at Government House earlier today to cement that March 3 polling day. But with all indications there could be a hung parliament, Will Hodgman could be back here as he tries to negotiate his way around a minority government. A trip to Government House to deliver the all-important date, day one of campaigning starting now.
We've delivered on what we promised. We have provided strong, stable majority government, and we are outlining a plan for our state's future.
Part of that plan is keeping its majority government, set to be a key focus for the Liberal campaign. But as polling continually points to a hung parliament, it's a message becoming increasingly hard to sell.
We will point to our opponents' failings, their track record, the Labor Green government of the past, a very different Tasmania to what it is now.
Labor will draw on health as its major priority. Rebecca White also standing by a commitment not to enter any minority government, rejecting assertions it could cost her the top job.
My intention is to remain as leader of the Labor Party for as long as they'll have me, and right now they're telling me they want me to lead the party to the election and they want me to lead the party after the election.
But it's an uphill battle for Labor, needing 6 additional seats for majority, alongside the loss of party heavyweights Lara Giddings and David Llewellyn to retirement.
We will make sure that we've got policies that address the health crisis, that provide education pathways for our young people, that provide secure jobs for people to stay here in Tasmania.
The Jackie Lambie network will look to shake the political landscape, particularly in Braddon, testing the Greens as the historic balance of power party.
We're here to campaign for 5 seats in this state parliament. We've got a strong team.
The Greens ruling out any ministerial requests if the party was to enter a power-sharing government. The removal of poker machines from pubs and clubs a likely bargaining tool in negotiations.
Of course we will, because this is the most significant, enduring social issue Tasmania's faced for the past 40 years.
5 long weeks of campaigning ahead as the race to the top begins. The gloves now off as Tasmania soon decides. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
With both major parties ruling out any deals to form a minority government, a hung parliament will put the Liberal leader in a tricky position. Will Hodgman joins us now live. Good evening, Premier.
Hello, Rachel.
You've been in pseudo-election mode for weeks now, and you say your internal polling numbers are on the improve. Have you done enough to avoid being a one-term wonder?
Look, we've got a very strong track record which shows that our state is heading in the right direction. We've achieved a lot over the last 4 years, but our plan is to take our state to the next level, to ensure that our economy continues to grow so that more people are in work, to ensure that the hard work we've done to get our budget back into balance, we can invest into our schools, into our hospitals, into keeping our communities safe and into keeping the cost of living down. And that's the plan that we will take to the election. The choice, of course, is to go back to what life was like 4 years ago under Labor and the Greens and a Labor Party with which you don't know what you will get these days. That's a very important choice for Tasmanians that they have to make.
If you don't win the 13 seats needed for majority, will you fall on your sword and step down as Liberal leader, or will you change your mind and have a mature discussion with Rebecca White to observe the will of the people?
Well, my plan between now and election day, and that crucial choice, is to give Tasmanians the option of a majority Liberal government. There's only one party that can form majority government, and that is the Liberal Party, so that's where my focus is.
Well, it'll be an interesting 5 weeks, that's for sure. Thanks for joining us tonight, Premier.
Pleasure.
Investigators have deemed a structure fire at Chigwell earlier today as accidental. Crews were called to the Beanock Street residence just after 1 o'clock. The fire was contained to a bedroom. Damage has been estimated at between $50,000 and $60,000. For the first time in 5 years, cruise ship passengers have given a quaint Tasmanian town a massive boost. A $4 million upgrade to Beauty Point's Inspection Head Wharf, today making a luxury cruise liner's visit possible. And it's hoped more ships will soon sail in.
Making her maiden voyage to Beauty Point, Lestral sailed into the usually quiet town at 7 this morning.
Arriving here for the first time for us, it was quite emotional to discover a new port of call.
The 400 passengers and crew welcomed with the inaugural Beauty Point market.
There was a jazz band playing when we arrived and I was still in bed. I hope we spend a lot in the shops because, well, I bought a cap and a few things. I hope it's good economically for the town.
I've gone for a good walk and a good swim, and the Riviera Hotel again is a very interesting and delightful place.
We've just been to one of the museums, the Platypus Museum. We'll go to the Seahorse one. That's good.
A $4 million wharf upgrade by Tasports made the berth possible.
I suppose the plan is to build the traffic up, but I suppose we need to walk before we can swim, so it's a matter of gradually building up the business. But today is a great start.
Lestral will now sail to King Island. It's unknown when the next big ship will dock, but inquiries are already being made. Today's visit also coinciding with the launch of a new Beauty Point master plan,
which will incorporate a whole range of improvements and wonderful facilities along the foreshore of Beauty Point. I think will entice more ships to come.
Monica Dadson at Southern Cross News.
The Hobart Hurricanes coach Gary Kirsten says his side will relish its underdog status heading into Thursday night's BBL semi-final. The Canes booked their showdown with the heavily favoured Perth Scorchers despite losing to the Melbourne Stars overnight.
In terms of a BBL semi-final opponent, it doesn't get harder than the Scorchers in Perth.
I think it puts us in a really good position because there'll be not too much expectation placed on us.
Last night's match against the Stars at the MCG was thought to be a must-win for the Canes, but with the Heat going on to lose to the Renegades, Hobart was gifted a finals berth.
And as we know, in knockout cricket, anything's possible. So, we're excited about the opportunity.
Kirsten now faces some tough selection dilemmas. Tim Payne is likely to slot into the side to replace Darcy Short, who'll be on national T20 duties. And after a shaky 2 for 56 effort with the ball, Jamal Mills' spot could be up in the air.
T20 cricket is really pressurised, and if you're not on your game, 6 balls can be the undoing of you.
Regardless of Thursday night's result, Jofra Archer's future remains on the up, with the Barbadian import signing a $1.2 million deal to play with Indian Premier League side Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah, they deserve it. They've had incredible seasons, and I'm really pleased for them. It's a great event for them to be involved in, incredible occasion. I'm sure they're looking forward to it.
Meantime, the women's side have ended their WBBL season on a high note with a thrilling 2-run win over the Stars in Melbourne today. As she has been all season, Hayley Matthews was the best with the bat, top scoring for the visitors with 44 runs. Georgia Redmayne also impressing with 40 of her own. Chasing 131 for victory, the Stars' top order was shaky. Nicola Hancock, the standout with a ball, taking 2 for 22, with the Canes securing the 2-run win on the very last ball of the match.
Welcome back. 37 degrees today for Hobart. Launceston reached 34 with 27 degrees at Burnie and Devonport. 38 was the top at Ouse, 37 for Grove, 36 degrees for Medina and Strawn, 35 on King Island. Cressy hit 34 with 29 degrees for Smithton, 27 there for Wynyard, and it was a pretty hot day right around the state today. Low cloud covers most of the state, as you can see there on the chart. Areas of low convective cloud with scattered thunderstorms over the mainland. And closer in, you can see low cloud off the northwest and the east coast, but the remainder mostly cloud-free. Tomorrow, a cold front crosses the state. The high south of WA extends over the Bight, while a trough runs from Victoria to Queensland. North to northwesterly winds for Tasmania, 15 to 20 knots, increasing in the east. Seas around 1 metres for most places, 3 metres for the east. There's a strong wind warning current for eastern coastal waters from the northern tip of Flinders Island to Tasman Island. Hot and humid tomorrow, 32 for Hobart, Dover 29, 33 in Ouse. Much the same up north, 31 for Launceston, 25 for Devonport and 28 in Scottsdale. 25 for Burnie, Strawn and Stanley, with rain for the east, 29 in St Helens, 31 for Swansea and 33 for Ross. Well, despite the rain, the UV remains extreme. Rain about the northeast on Tuesday, showers pretty much everywhere else. Showers for the west, the south and the east on Wednesday, but fine elsewhere, with similar conditions again on Thursday. Around Australia, sunny and 30 degrees in Perth, showers for Adelaide 28, Melbourne 35, 26 in Sydney with 40 the top for Alice Springs. Almost time to get home for the tennis straight, but at the moment it's 33 in Hobart, 31 and clear in Launceston and 24 there for Devonport. That's all from me.
Wonderful, still very hot. Thank you for that, Sam. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. Good night.
We are most of the board focused on the future. We are the only political party that is articulating a plan for Tasmania's future, a comprehensive plan.